Oh, it is nice and toasty in here. Oh, this is so... If this is what it's gonna be like, this was well worth it. Oh my gosh. It's Sunday, January 19th, 2020. After picking up the completed Jeep from OK 4-Wheel Drive yesterday, today I'm scrambling to get it ready for travel. And I started by pulling the rear goose gear platform again, because first I wanted to vacuum it out and clean it up a little bit more, and second, I wanted to get a good look at the completed Webasto heater install. I was ecstatic when I picked the Jeep up from the shop yesterday. When I got there, the Jeep was sitting outside in the cold and the heater was running. I climbed inside, closed the door, and it was perfect. The climate was warm. If this continues to work reliably, it's going to be one of my favorite modifications for sure. In the Jeep Wrangler JK, there's a decent amount of empty space behind the passenger side taillight that they utilize for ductwork and for plumbing for the heater. Sunday night, and I just finished installing these LED dome lights by Baja Designs. If you remember, I used to have a small Goal Zero lantern that would hang right here, and I went through 3 of those. It kept going bad on me, so I didn't want to do that again, and I went this route. I really like these new dome lights, but the Goal Zero produced a warmer, more ambient light, so as nice as these are, I might have to supplement them with something. It's Monday around midday, and I'm starting to load my gear back in the Jeep. I have a mountain of stuff to contend with, and I'm not even sure how it all fits. But it all came out of the Jeep, so it can go back in. Okay, I'm making some headway. I have 2 major piles in the garage. I have some core containers over there and a bunch of miscellaneous things that I need to sort through on this side of the garage. But first I'm going to take the Jeep to the car wash and do some vacuuming. There's some dirt that accumulated on the driver's side that I want to clear out of there before I start putting my gear in. Recovery gear, which used to be under the floor in the back where the heater is now, is jammed underneath the passenger front seat. Alright, XG cargo bag on the passenger side contains straps, bungees, tent stakes, saw, guy lines, and my mallet. These things used to be underneath the passenger seat in the front. Alright, I have things in a pretty good place out here. I'm gonna go into my parents' house and do some laundry and some additional sorting. I have to find a home for all of this stuff in the Jeep by tomorrow morning. Some of it will go up in the camper, some will go in the center console, glove compartment, some stuff will just float freely. Tuesday morning, January 21st. I've been packing all morning and I just have my big containers to put in the back here. In addition to my awning room, my camp chair, camp table, stove, toilet. And then, after topping off my water containers, I'll be on the move. It's Wednesday morning, January 22nd, and I am mobile heading westbound. Yesterday afternoon I stopped at my storage unit to drop off some gear, and then after that I went out to dinner with my son Cole, his mom, and his stepdad, and just had a nice time. They were kind enough to let me pop the camper in their driveway, which was the very first time that I slept in the Jeep with the new heater. And wow, I was in a t-shirt all night. I slept partially sticking out of my sleeping bag. I woke up this morning and I didn't know what the temperature was outside, so I looked it up on my phone. It was 19 degrees Fahrenheit out, and I didn't know it. In last week's episode, I don't feel like I sufficiently elaborated on the bad gas that compromised my heater. Where did it come from? How did the bad gas get there? While we can't say for sure, I suspect it's because the Jeep has 150,000 miles on it, and I've been filling it up at gas stations of varying quality all over the US and Canada. I'm very much speculating, and I don't claim to be an expert on this, but I think over time, the bad gas and debris settles in a thin layer at the bottom of the tank, and since we never fully deplete our tank when we're driving, it just stays there, fill up after fill up. Now, OK four-wheel drive purged my gas tank, cleaned it out, added fresh gas, cleaned out the heater, and it's been running flawlessly ever since. They also installed one of these tiny inline fuel filters as a preventative measure to catch any debris and let me see the color of the gas moving forward. I have a couple replacements in the glove compartment just in case. Allegheny National Forest in northwestern Pennsylvania. I just got here and right off the bat it's very beautiful. It's frigid though. I need to go back to the Jeep and put on some layers. Oh wow. Somehow I doubt this is open. Oh, wow. Potential place to camp for the night. Mark it on the GPS. I'm gonna keep looking though. This is a well-traveled forest road, but that's the problem. It's trampled snow and it's very icy. It's Wednesday night in Allegheny National Forest. I'm working on photos on my computer. I have the heat on. I actually had to open the window on this side of me just to bring the temperature down a little bit. According to the specifications, the heater goes through 1 gallon of gas every 15 hours. That's great. And that's on the highest setting, too. I think I need to go to the hardware store and look for some sort of pipe or an elbow to install on top of this vent. This is fine, it's all cool to the touch, but the air is rising straight above the cargo area and it's collecting on the roof up here. And I want it to go forward a bit up into the camper. I sleep with one platform out, so the air is allowed to permeate up. And it feels great. I'm only in one sleeping bag. I didn't bother with my sweatpants. It's probably 20 degrees Fahrenheit out. This is just awesome. It's Thursday morning in Allegheny National Forest. I just enjoyed some breakfast and it is 16 degrees out. I ran the heater all night and my fuel situation is still mostly full. The needle barely budged. So I was very comfortable and I am very happy. Alright, we have Allegheny National Forest to explore, and all of these dark lines are forest roads. This is the motor vehicle use map overlay on Gaia GPS. Some of these might be gated seasonal, I don't know. But let's make our way north, up in this direction. This snowy trek was a dead end. I had a feeling that would be the case, but it was worth a look. Taia Scenic Trail, a beautiful section of old-growth forest in Allegheny National Forest. It's just a short nature hike, I think. There's a short loop and a long loop, and I'm not sure if I went the right way. I'm in northern Allegheny National Forest. Got my eyes open for a place to camp now. It's Thursday, so it needs to be either close to town or it has to have good cell service. This is Rimrock Overlook, an accessible overlook in Allegheny National Forest. Rimrock overlooks the Allegheny River. That's what that body of water was. Now I am on my way to camp. I think I found a good spot on the way here. Home sweet home. I'm gonna call that a wrap for the week. It was an extremely hectic week because I got the Jeep back on Saturday and I spent the next few days settling in and getting everything shipshape. I really hustled because I wanted to get some travel and exploration in before the end of the week, and I did. I had a great time in Allegheny National Forest. It was snowy but not too snowy, and it was the perfect opportunity to reacquaint myself with the Jeep. I didn't scout for internet this week because I didn't have time, but I think I'm going to edit this video tomorrow in Warren, Pennsylvania. I haven't been to town yet, but there's a coffee shop, a public library, and seems to be fast cell service, so I should be good to go. I think this weekend I'm going to double time it across the country. There's some snow in the forecast, and I don't think it'll pose a problem. If it does, I'll just dip south or maybe hunker down somewhere. As far as where I'm going to end up next week, I honestly have no idea. West. I'll know it when I get there. But that reminds me, I signed up for another event this past week. American Adventurous Desert Rendezvous, which is going to be in Arizona. And that is in a month from now, on February 20th. So I hope to see some of you there. But as always, thank you for following along. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I will catch up with you again next Friday. Somewhere west, wherever that may be.